Hi, it's Lisan. I got a question on one of my videos recently and I wasn't able to reply to it directly because of the Google Plus settings, but this was the question by Whitney W. Lisan, how do you deal with your family not being vegan? Neither my family or my boyfriend are vegan and they are quite critical of my lifestyle. How do you cope with that? I'll just speak from my own experience. So none of my family is vegan, so my parents aren't vegan and my brother isn't vegan, and the way that I cope with it in terms of how I am vegan around them is if I look back to the first time when I told my parents I was vegan, I just said it that I'm vegan and I'm not eating meat anymore, and that was that. So at that point I was in my mid-20s already, so it wasn't like I had to ask for their permission or anything. And I've got quite a good relationship with my parents, so they trust that I have good judgment even with my diet. And I think as time went on, I've been educating them and helping them to understand that sugar isn't really the cause of diabetes and that it's okay to eat more fruit, that we can be vegan and be healthy, that we can get protein from plants. So I think the main thing that I've been doing to counter any criticism is to educate and to just do it in a nice way. And I've been cooking my own meals a lot of the time. Sometimes my mum will cook dinner and she will cook rice with vegetables and then other stuff for the family. So everyone eats rice and vegetables, but for me, that's all that I will eat that my mum cooks. And sometimes she'll be as supportive as even making a vegan portion for me. If she's cooking something with meat in it, she won't put meat in my portion and I'll eat that. So in general, my family is pretty supportive of me. And I think it's easy to be vegan if you know how to cook yourself, if you know where to find good information to educate people, and also to not expect people to be vegan just because you are. At first I was I was trying to get my brother to be vegan because he had really bad acne before, and I also had really bad acne, but it cleared up when I went vegan. And so when he got bad acne, I was telling him, well, you should go vegan, it might help you, and it helped me. And he just didn't want to, so he instead took that strong drug for acne. Starts with R. I forgot what it's called. Roaccutane. So he took that and he decided to go that way instead of being vegan. And I think it's mainly because he is just not interested. And I can try to educate as much as I want, but if someone is not willing to learn, or if someone is quite close-minded and doesn't want to learn about the lifestyle, then it's really hard. So I can only be vegan for myself and not expect everyone else to be vegan. So that's how I cope. With my husband, he wasn't vegan when I married him, and I just accepted that he might not ever be vegan, and I married him just because I love him, and we have other things in common, and we're able to cope with each other even if we're not both vegan. But I will have to say that the longer that I've been vegan and the more I learn about it, and also the closer that I am to my husband, the more I want him to be vegan as well. And it's not just for his health, but also because I know the ethical side of it and the environmental reasons. So if I'm going to be close to someone, I'd want them to also share the same kind of feelings as me on veganism. with my husband, I have been helping him to understand my point of view by getting him to watch documentaries with me. So far he's watched Forks Over Knives, Cowspiracy. He's watched 2 of Dr. Greger's nutrition facts lectures. There was one called More Than an Apple a Day. So he understands the health benefits of going vegan, and after watching Cowspiracy he also understands the environmental aspects. And another thing I watched with him was 101 Reasons to Go Vegan, and that brought in the ethical side of it, and so he understands the ethical side. So with your boyfriend, I would just try to get him to watch documentaries with you, and if he's so close-minded about it, then I would reconsider your relationship, because obviously you want to be able to share something that's close to your heart with him. And so with me and my husband, I'd want to be able to say what I feel about meat eating and health, and not be afraid of being criticized by him and being brought down because of what he says. So I think it's a matter of you choosing how much veganism matters to you, as opposed to how much your boyfriend matters to you. Maybe your boyfriend matters more to you, and you would sacrifice your comfort in sharing all your vegan stuff and all your vegan conversations with your boyfriend, because you've got other things to talk about with him and to bond with him over. And that was like the same thing with me at the beginning with my husband, but veganism has become a bigger part of my life now, and so I think both my husband and I have evolved with that, and I'm really grateful that it has turned out that way. With people being critical of your lifestyle, whether they're your friends or family, you just have to, I guess you just have to put up with it. If you're living with them, of course you can't, there's not much you can do except to educate them, like how I did with my family. And it depends on what they tell you. For example, if they say you're not going to get enough protein, then you just show them the websites or tell them a fact about protein that they didn't know. So then you raise your own credibility in their eyes, and so they see that you do know something about nutrition, and that they're not the nutrition experts just because you're vegan. So I hope that helped. I know it's a tough situation when people around you aren't vegan and you're the only one. It is really hard sometimes to be vegan in this society, so I do understand why people aren't vegan, but it doesn't mean that I'm going to change myself just to make them comfortable. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.